Hey, what's up, guys? This is Response coming at you with a live commentary here. This is my second audio commentary. Going to be doing a Protoss vs Zerg, and let's get right into it. This was an ESL match I played against a random player. Smoke was his name. I guess we're both diamond level. I'm going to be showing you a proper Void Ray Rush on this map. Very standard build order. Very strong in Protoss vs Zerg early game, as long as you catch your opponent off guard, and can really just put you in a good position for the mid game, and can also just get you a lot of wins early in the game if you pull it off correctly. Now remember my Protoss vs Protoss commentary, I said that it was better because of the mirror matchup and because of the economical state of the build, that it's better to build your pylon close to your nexus. Well, in Protoss vs Zerg, the benefits of building your pylon outweigh the small amount of resources that you gain by building your pylon by your nexus. It helps stop Ling all-ins, it helps stop Baneling all-ins, it helps stop Roach all-ins, and Zerg are much more inclined to do an all-in build that early in the game than Protoss. And even if the Protoss were to do an all-in build, my walled buildings would help against the Zealot Rush, let's say, but once he got two Stalkers, it would not help at all, because the range of the Stalkers would be the same, so it would just make a small little crevice for my Stalkers and give him a big concave, so it would actually benefit him for my wall to be there. Whereas in Protoss vs Zerg, Roaches are outranged by Stalkers, so the wall helps you against a Stalker or a Roach all-in, because your Stalkers can get free shots on the Roaches, while they are just forced to try to kill the buildings. Alright, we're going to start here. So that's the reason I'm building my wall at the ramp. Notice I'm going to build my pylon here. This allows for a nice gateway plus core placement on this map. You notice I don't scout yet. I'm just working on my economy. Again, every build I do is a definitely huge economical build, especially compared to most players. I don't like to go 11 gateway. I almost always like to go 13 gateway. I don't really see the benefit in ever going 11 gateway, except if you're trying to proxy, again like I said, and you would proxy outside your base if you were going to proxy. But other than that, I'm just continuing to chrono boost. You want to use this chrono boost always as soon as you can. Alright, building my first gateway here, and going to be building my core below it just to leave one space. That's a nice little wall in the Protoss vs Zerg matchup. It allows you to get your units freely in and out, but allows you to also block their Zerglings or drones or Roaches very easily. Now, Protoss vs Zerg, there's a lot of different options. You can fast expand. You can do the one gateway style build. You can do two gateway in base. You can do two gateway out base. There's just a lot of variations early game. So that's why he's sending out his early drone scout here. We'll go just to my view. Gotta slow that down. Don't need my vision. So I just see a spawning pool and a hatchery, and I see him throwing down his expansion hatchery. The expansion hatchery is a big deal. If he was getting gas before he got this expansion hatchery, that would make me be inclined to think that he was much more possible to do an all-in build, rather than seeing this hatchery and then this gas. It's probably just to get this gas is probably just to get defensive Roaches, rather than maybe going for a Baneling bust or a Roach all-in. Just something to think about. If you see that early gas before the first hatchery, or the second hatchery I should say, the only reason they'd be doing that, cutting their economy like this, the only reason they'd be cutting their economy to get a faster gas would be to do some kind of Zergling all-in with speed, or Roach all-in, or Baneling all-in. So that's an easy way, just early in the game, to tell if there's a cheese coming. So right away I'm thinking that there's probably not going to be a cheese coming. This guy's probably going to be trying to play me straight up. Especially since this was the second game of the ESL match. The first game I had already won. So this is the second game here. Notice I sent my Zealot to go kill this drone. That's huge, huge, huge. You want to get all scouting units out of your base before you show any kind of tech. I'm not throwing down my Stargate. I'm just getting warp gates because I can while I try to clear this drone out. Once I clear this drone out, I'm going to throw down my Stargate right away. But until then, I don't want him to know what tech I'm doing at all. Because basically at this point, I could be doing any of the 3 techs. And he is trying to get a Zergling in here as well. A couple Zerglings are trying to take pot shots at my sentry, but I'm just trying to micro that. So yeah, he takes a couple pot shots on my sentry and then runs away. So yeah, now at this point, right away, I throw down my Stargate as soon as I clear out all the scouting stuff. And I'm also getting another nice scout with my Protoss probe here. I don't see a Roach Warren or a Baneling nest, so I'm not sure what's up. But I do know he's got that expansion up and he's got a queen. So yeah, now right after this Stargates gets thrown up, I do add 2 more gateways with my warp gates almost finished here, and I'm building a stalker. I'm building 2 stalkers. The reason I'm building stalkers, you notice another key to this build is I'm using this stalker to check the edges of my base for any possible Overlord scouts. If an Overlord scouts this, it's much easier for the Zerg to deal with this, and your rush is pretty much screwed. I'd recommend, instead of even trying the rush, to just go ahead and expand and prepare for Hydralisks rather than trying to rush, because they will be prepared for it. It's not that hard to prepare for. I don't see any Overlords, but I am still checking. And notice I start my first Void Ray. Okay, here we go. Yep, just perfect here. He tries to get this Overlord in. He's checking, but oh, he just wasn't quite far enough. And now I'm just chrono boosting my Void Ray. So at this point, he doesn't really know what's up at all. He sees 3 gateways. Okay, here's another key on this map especially. Is to throw down this pylon, this proxy pylon, while you're building your first Void Ray. And I'm turning on my warp gates and gateways into warp gates. So now, once I get my Void Ray out, I should say, and morphing in warp gates, I'm going to be sending my units and my Void Ray out to these rocks. While I'm doing that, I can warp in more reinforcements here, so I have a bigger force to attack him with. Alright, anyways, like I was saying, so all he sees is 3 gateways. He didn't see any of my tech. He didn't see my Stargate. He didn't see if I expanded. He really is in the dark on what I'm doing. He has no clue I could have done any of the 3. And that's the reason this build is so strong. It's just one of many builds that I could possibly be doing, and he has to prepare for all of them. And that's the main strength of it. So you really want to make sure that you don't get it scouted, because if it's scouted, it's a lot easier to counter. Alright, so we'll go ahead and play here. Yep, just chrono boosting my Void Ray. Double chrono. I used 2 chrono boosts for that Void Ray here. And I have noticed the perfect timing for my warp gates. They're all finished just when my Void Ray pops. And now I just move out some units. Notice I move out my my ground units before my Void Ray here. I cleared out his Zerglings, and his Zerglings still didn't see the Void Ray. Still did not see the Void Ray. So, as far as he's concerned, I could just be doing a 4 warp gate all in at this point. So that's probably what he's preparing for, because he has no information on what else I could be doing. And again, warping in more units here. And I think I'm starting a second Void Ray. Yep, starting a second Void Ray and chrono boosting. That's key. That's key. Now you're gonna see another big key with this build. Hopefully I do it this game. Yep. Okay, I'm warping. I'm starting my Void Ray power up on the rocks. This is a very standard high level play. You're gonna see any good Protoss do this. Your Void Ray does so much more damage when it's charged up. So charging on these rocks here, it's just too good not to do. You don't ever want to, especially in this position. He's just trying to play the defensive. I can just sit here, charge up. Once I get fully charged, kind of attack my Zealot with the Void Ray, so it stays charged, and then just attack this Spine Crawler or whatever else and that'll give my Void Ray have my damage output for my Void Ray be so much more, because when it's charged up, it just does an incredibly more amount of damage than if it's not charged up. It's just ridiculous the amount of damage that it does compared to when it's not charged up. So charging on these rocks is always, always, always key for this build on this map. Notice I'm running in here a couple force fields to block in some Zerglings, and look, he's got only Zerglings. He has no air defense at all. And again, this charged up Void Ray it kills Zerglings so fast. Look how fast that look how fast that Spine Crawler dies to this Void Ray. Oh my goodness. It's just ridiculous the power that it has, and he's pretty much dead, and he GG's because he has absolutely no defense. Completely unprepared for that. So yeah, this has been Response, doing another audio commentary. Hope you learned how to do the Void Ray Rush. The keys are just to keep it hidden as much as you possibly can, and remember to charge on the rocks. And remember, this isn't the only strategy you want to be doing in Protoss vs Zerg. This is one of a few strategies that you could possibly be doing. So that makes you unpredictable and makes it a lot harder for the Zerg to be able to counter what you're doing. Alright, I hope you enjoyed my commentary, and have a good day.